And Vice President Venkaiah Naidu also, in fact, these are the visuals of him greeting 27-member EU delegation that's going to be visiting Kashmir tomorrow. Remember, earlier Prime Minister Modi met EU parliamentarians and discussed situation on ground in Kashmir Valley. And today, this evening, we are also breaking these visuals of Vice President Venkaiah Naidu greeting 27-member European parliamentarians who are going to be visiting Kashmir Valley tomorrow. Remember, this is a very, very significant visit. First EU panel visiting Kashmir post-abrogation of Article 370, post-integration of Jammu Kashmir with the rest of the country, and Vice President now meeting EU parliamentarians ahead of their visit tomorrow. EU delegation will be visiting Kashmir tomorrow. It's a 27-member panel, and EU panel is going to be there tomorrow in Kashmir Valley. Ahead of their visit to Kashmir Valley, they had a series of meetings today earlier with the Prime Minister, and now these are the visuals of Venkaiah Naidu ji, the Vice President meeting EU delegation. And my colleague and our Executive Editor Abhishek joining us on phone line. Abhishek, the importance of it, the larger import of it. Well, today they had these formal meeting, call on the Prime Minister and now Vice President, and tomorrow they're going to be visiting Valley tomorrow. Abhishek.
Well, the importance obviously is, Sakal, that India finally has given up inhibitions about letting the world see what's happening in Kashmir and allows a foreign delegation to visit Kashmir Valley. Now, on the face of it, it looks a bit of a contradiction because we have maintained that it's an internal matter. But the point is that foreign policy has to be nimble-footed. Foreign policy has to evolve. And what we have realized is that the world needs to see that Pakistani propaganda is false. And that's why perhaps a decision was taken to have this very informal group of parliamentarians of the European Union who are from about 10 odd countries from across Europe. And they would be traveling. They have met all the establishment in Delhi today, from Prime Minister to the National Security Advisor to the Vice President. Now, as we see in the pictures, and later they are having a dinner with the External Affairs Minister. And tomorrow they travel to the valley, spend a day in Srinagar, meet a cross-section of people and see for themselves, perhaps a visit to the Dal Lake also, and see for themselves that India, whatever has done in the valley over the last 2.5 months, is very different from what is being projected by Pakistan and Pakistan sympathizers. So that's essentially the agenda for getting into this and getting these parliamentarians from Europe to come and visit the valley.
And Abhishek, also for the fact that when Prime Minister today also discussed Pak-sponsored terror extensively with the 28-member EU panel tomorrow, and the kind of propaganda we have also seen being propagated by certain sections of international media. Remember, Abhishek, post-abrogation of Article 370. I think that's also stands exposed. That also stands exposed when this EU panel goes there tomorrow.
Well, Sakal, rightly so. International media has been problematic, to put it mildly, post-August 5, and even dishonest, if I could use that word, in the manner in which, for example, the BBC projected a video which was fake and was called out for that. And then we have seen how platforms like Washington Post yesterday, called Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi an austere religious leader. So international platforms, media platforms have had problems, not just limited to Kashmir, but to other places also, in the most recent instance in the case of Baghdadi yesterday. But that has not stopped India from engaging with the rest of the world. In fact, External Affairs Minister Jaishankar, when he was camping in New York, actually met about a dozen odd media platform representatives, from cutting across the ideological divide, as also a bipartisan outreach was made to the politicians in Washington, D.C. And of course, this was apart from about 70 or 80 odd heads of states or governments that the Prime Minister himself engaged in. So essentially what is important is that India is confident enough or self-confident enough to engage with the world and let them see what India means in Kashmir.
Absolutely, you rightly pointed out, India is pretty much self-confident when it comes to engaging with the world on Kashmir, and even maintaining the fact at the same time that Kashmir was and Kashmir will remain an internal matter. In fact, Prime Minister Modi, this is how Prime Minister Modi got also EU panel on board as far as our government's fight and zero tolerance against terror is concerned. Let's listen to Prime Minister.
Terrorism is one of the biggest threats to the entire humanity. Terrorism and radicalism particularly threaten diverse and democratic societies like India and Europe. Close international cooperation is essential to fight terrorism. Urgent action must be taken against all those who support or sponsor terrorists or support such activities and organizations or use terrorism as a state policy. There should be zero tolerance for terrorism.
And ahead of their visit tomorrow, this is what some of these European parliamentarians have to say about their visit to Kashmir Valley tomorrow. Some reactions.
Yes, we're going tomorrow, but unfortunately only for 24 hours because I've got to go back to London and all us Europeans have work to do back in the areas we represent, back in Europe.
How you see this entire Kashmir issue after abrogation of Article 370?
Well, I'm going to see to find out. I've been listening to a lot of people today from the Prime Minister downwards talking to me, explaining to me about it. But I want to see on the ground how it actually is and talk to some local people as well. But what I think we all want is normalcy and peace and a good life for everybody. So I hope that's what I will find.
How you see the entire development and this meeting?
I think it's possible to make something good about economy and also culture between Europe and India.
Are you going to visit Kashmir?
Yes, we will visit Kashmir tomorrow, and I hope to have contacts and to speak with people. I think it's a good thing to go to Kashmir.
Are you happy with the way Indian government and the Prime Minister Modi has just explained about Kashmir?
Yes, it's a very great occasion for us.
Well, we have been speaking about the tensions and about the situation. We think I'm very much I think it's very important to support the rule of law and to support the integrity of the country, of the nation. And in this sense, we are looking forward. I mean, there are enormous possibilities for Kashmir inside India for the development of a really democratic, socially stable and prosperous country. All other kind of alternatives are obscure and are really not worthwhile.